We're here with Wentworth Institute of Technology's acting head men's volleyball coach, Dave Steiner, and student athletes Tristan McDonough and Alex McLane following Wentworth's 3-1 setback to Stevens in the NCAA Tournament. Coach, an opening statement.
I mean, what a match, right, is honestly what I'd say. So proud of our team, the way they played in this match. Also hats off to Stevens. I think this was a really fun one to watch, really fun one to be a part of. I think definitely the top volleyball that both of these teams were playing at the end of it.
Coach, take us through the final points of what seemed like a first set that was going on forever, and how were you able to kind of execute at the end of that?
Well, I can tell you my heart was beating out of my chest on that one. I think probably everybody else's was as well on both sides of the court. I think that set really epitomizes how this match went. It was back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? We made a run, they made a run, we made a run, they made a run. It was just fortunate that we had the last run in that set and took it in the extra points.
Seemed like you had control of the second set, up 15-10. Heading towards 20, Stevens kind of makes a late run in the middle of that set to get back into it. What wasn't going well for you, and what was Stevens able to do to kind of take control of that set?
Well, Stevens is a very well-balanced team all across the board. I think they just happened to get us on a few serves during that run, and when they're able to set their block up, it's pretty tough to get around it, which is sort of, I think, what happened in that sequence. But they just made a bunch of plays. It's, as I was saying before, like the whole match, back and forth, back and forth. We made a run in the start of the second set, and they answered and, really put the foot on the gas at the end of that one. It was credit to them in that place, because we were doing what we could, but they're solid.
Tristan, take us through kind of what was going on the floor. Obviously, you guys ended up hitting just under 300 for the match, but it kind of seemed like they came in waves, right? Like Coach was saying. How were you guys able to kind of right the ship at times when it seemed like the match might have even been slipping away?
Yeah, we definitely had our opportunities. We were going up, the bench was getting into it. We felt a lot of emotion and energy going into it, but we just let some easy ones slip away. We'd have some solo blocks that were just that we didn't take advantage of. We had some block moves that we could have made a big difference that we didn't, and we just let those ones get past us. And when we could take advantage of them, we were doing well. But when we let those slip, that's when we started to fall behind.
Alex, another NCAA appearance for the program. What, in your opinion, is the takeaway over the last couple of years coming out of the pandemic, where kind of volleyball didn't happen as much, right? We kind of had that kind of weird 21 season and back-to-back appearances for the program. What has the last 2 years been like as a player for Wentworth?
I think it just speaks for how we respond to adversity. We're definitely a group of guys where we've been knocked down so many times, and there's so many points along the way where it's like we could have quit, we could have, taken the easy path out, but I think that there's just a culture of that's not what we do at Wentworth, whether it's, academics, anything else. Like, we just keep going, we keep working hard, and all that hard work leads to back-to-back NCAA appearances, which is pretty awesome and, quite an achievement for the program.
Take a question over here.
Speaking of adversity, you guys had a little bit of an unusual preparation model this week. Head coach Evan Giglio at home with Liz and the newborn. Acting head coach Dave Steiner, assistant coach Nick stepping in and doing a great job. Just talk a little bit about what preparation and scouting look like this week when you're getting certain Zoom calls in and different FaceTimes. Just take us through what this week looked like for you guys as student athletes.
It's a little bit more organized than gigs, I will say. So maybe a little bit quieter, but a little bit more organized. But nothing really changes as far as scout and how we run things. Giggs has been there forever, and he's really kind of instilled a system and a program for everybody that everybody buys into, top to bottom. So it just kind of runs itself.
And Tristan, on that scout note, you guys held Stevens below 300 in the first two sets. You guys were keeping Kobe Sherman relatively quiet. What were some things that you were looking to key on in the match, leading that front line of, hey, we got to slow down a dynamic Stevens offense, here's what we need to do?
Yeah, so we knew that they like to run their middles from all over the place, and one of our best attributes this whole season and to Wentworth volleyball is our serving capability. And when we're able to serve tougher, we're able to get them out of system, get them a 1 or a 2 pass so we know where we can set up the block and be sturdy and stable. And when we were able to do that, granted, there were some times they were able to pull a left-handed swing out of their back pocket. Well, that was pretty ridiculous, but yeah, they're great. They're great players, and they're tough to stop. But we did our best, and yeah.
Coach, to Tristan's point, right? The left-handed swing, the dig over that ends up falling in between. What do you say to your team in moments like that where you just kind of throw your hands up and say, you know what, it happens?
Yeah, about just that much. You know, it's unlucky is usually what we say in that time frame. It's you know, that's what happens in a match where it's, you know, that close and that much skill on the court. That you know, sometimes just an inch or two here or there is what makes the difference, right? I mean, we spoke about the first set going in extra points. You know, the fourth set as well, being close, back and forth, back and forth. You know, I mean, we ran out of subs in most of our sets because it was, you know, such high side out games. So just like such a high level of volleyball. When that's the case, guys are making plays, and you know, sometimes it's them getting lucky, and sometimes it's them having skill, and sometimes it's both. So.
Coach, I'm not a math major, but I believe my count is 6 first years, 7 sophomores on the roster. Very young Wentworth team. What's the next step for Wentworth volleyball, men's volleyball?
Well, I mean, as you said, you know, we have a lot of talent on the roster up and down. You know, you mentioned we have a lot of underclassmen in that first and second year of school, and you know, they bring a lot of skill, a lot of motion, a lot of care. You know, I think it's very exciting for the future, but I also don't want to discount the you know, culture and brotherhood that the seniors have really instilled. You know, these two gentlemen sitting next to me have been playing for many, many years at Wentworth, and you know, their legacy is going to last far beyond their years in a Wentworth uniform. So super proud of everybody top to bottom, and especially all of our seniors.
Congratulations on a great, I'm sorry, Will.
Yeah, just to throw it to Tristan and Alex one more time, touching on that legacy piece, I believe you guys are one of 2 programs to be in the NCAA quarterfinals each of the last 3 seasons. Just talk about, you know, what this experience has meant to you top to bottom and to leave a legacy like that behind.
I mean, it's special, man. I mean, when you look at over the years, like what has been developed, it's, you know, it's slow, but to have helped to bring the program to the point where it's at today means a lot, and you can tell that from a lot of ways, especially on the bench. You know, you have guys from 5 years ago who are hanging around still helping out with that process, and you know, it's just awesome to always see that. And I feel like everybody is just bought into this whole mission of Wentworth volleyball, and I can tell you it's not done yet.
It's all culture. It's one of one of the things we harp on is culture is everything within men's volleyball at Wentworth, and these people on the team, if you join Wentworth volleyball, you've got 20 best friends right away.
Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.